Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Radio Motion. My name is Sandy Blumenfeld, and this is the fourth program in our series designed to bring you what's happening here in our northern Michigan region with the music scene. Local musicians, both working, singers, songwriters, producers, recording artists, and our special guest tonight is Blake Elliott, and she's many of those things. Blake, welcome to our program. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Will you play us a tune and we'll get to know a little bit more about Blake Elliott after this first number.
All right. This is a song called Sweet Anticipation. That should be writing, but you're right there, right on my mind. And I should be working, but you got me working overtime. You rattle my thoughts, baby. Oh, oh yeah, yeah, you're shaking me up. I don't wanna let it go, but I really need this to let up. But this sweet anticipation can feel like misery, waiting on that sweet affection that you've been promising me. Well, can't think straight. Been chasing my tail, running laps all around the track. And every time I think that I have reached the finish, well, I find that I'm right back at the starting line. And you so rattle my thoughts, baby. Whoa, whoa, yeah, you're still shaking me up. Well, I've got so much to give, I just don't wanna give up. But this sweet anticipation can feel like misery, waiting on that sweet affection that you've been promising me. Well, can't think straight. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Well, you burned hotter than hot. Now it seems everything you cooled in a flash. And we had to have a sit down, come to Jesus. It's what I needed for the answers to the questions that I had to ask. Though I knew what the answer was, well, I rattled more than your thoughts, baby. Still recall it all, how I shook you up. Well, I guess you get all that you wanted. No, I never got enough. And now this sweet anticipation has turned to misery. Disappointed inspiration is all you left for me. Well, can't think straight. I can't think straight. No, I can't think straight.
Nice job, Blake. I love that song.
Thank you so much.
I've heard you do that before.
Yes.
And welcome to Radio Motion. It's a little different, isn't it?
It is. It's really nice, though. Thank you for having me.
Oh, our pleasure, my pleasure. You've been on Local Motion with me a few times before at WNMC 90.7 College Radio. Right there, WNMC.org. But we have combined efforts with Up North Media and our producer director Michael Toms, and this is our fourth in a series of these programs, bringing local motion to television, hence radio motion.
Nice. That's
So,
wonderful.
Blake, how old were you when you started doing this kind of stuff?
Well, I've always had music around me. My mother played guitar when I was growing up, so from the time I was little, she used to play for me. It was one of my things I'd ask her to do sometimes in the evening. Will you play Jim Croce? Will you play, James Taylor? Things like that.
Oh, you grew up doing all the cool stuff.
I grew up with some good music in my house for sure, but I was about 5 years old the first time I really remember playing the guitar or holding it and singing, and just strumming and singing. And that's kind of how it started. And then I was about 12 years old, and I had friends that were learning to play electric guitar, and I was the lefty, so I got demoted to playing bass upside down.
Oh yeah,
and,
they always do that to you guys.
But I wanted to write songs, so I decided I was just going to learn to play the guitar, whether it was upside down or not.
Yeah, bass is good training.
It is.
People
and I
might scoff at the bass, but it ain't an easy thing to do. That's
no,
for sure.
and I never would say I was a bass player. I played a bass, but I didn't really play it the way
I've picked
it
them
could
up
be.
and a couple times I put them right back down. You play it.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
But let's address your left-handedness right off the bat here and get that out of the way, the old elephant in the room. So when you picked up the first guitar, was your mother left-handed or?
No, my mother is right-handed, and so she had a right-handed guitar.
Okay.
And I just picked it up and held it the way that was comfortable and just started strumming. And when I was learning from my friends who were teaching me, I didn't think to turn it the other way because it wasn't my strong hand. So I wanted to keep the rhythm, and my left hand was stronger in that. So I decided I would just challenge myself and learn to play upside down. And so I did. And it was about 5 years, 5.5 years of playing upside down. And one day I just decided to restring my guitar the proper way and start all over again. But it served me really well all these years to actually sit down and be able to play a right-handed guitar, because I get in situations where someone doesn't have a left-handed guitar and I don't, I want to jam, I want to play with my friends.
Right,
but
just flip it upside down. And
yeah. I've happened when I was with Soul Patch before.
Oh,
They wanted me to fill in during their break, and I was like, I don't have a guitar with me. And Wink's like, could you play mine? I'm like, I guess I could, and I did. And luckily, I actually always try to play a right-handed guitar when I'm writing, because it's nice to be able to learn it both ways in case you're in a situation where you don't have your own guitar. So
I never thought of that. We don't think of, righties don't think of us.
No, your guitars are more available readily, and they're also a lot less
cheaper.
expensive.
Yeah, they're cheaper than lefties, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So you began writing, making up stuff when you were little? So you started playing and making up your own tunes?
Yeah, I was about 12 or 13 when I was really like writing songs at the same time that I was playing with friends of mine. And I got more occupied with doing that in school probably than paying attention to my teachers.
A lot of people do that.
That's what I hear.
A lot of us, yeah. I could tell you all the Bob Dylan records back in the 60s, but I couldn't tell you what was going on in econ or
Exactly.
history or
And
whatever,
so I was very influenced by lots of different music, so I found myself kind of thinking very, rhythmically as I'm writing things.
Sure.
And it just kind of evolved from there.
Now, did you take music in school? Any
I
formal
played
music
band
courses?
in 6th grade, did the flute, and the reason I didn't go on is because I couldn't read the music. I could hear it, and I've always played by ear. I played the piano by ear, I played guitar by ear. I've never really, I took one piano lesson, I learned my scales one time when I was like 9 or 10. But
You can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it. I have no real concept, which I'm learning from the wonderful people around me right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of people you have to learn because they start
Yeah.
spouting off all this,
I
musical
know.
nomenclature and stuff. And you gotta, I wonder what he means. And you learn,
Yeah.
and it does help.
It's very helpful. I have a
important.
great bass player who's been schooling me on some things, and it's been really nice.
Helps you find your way around.
Yeah, definitely.
And now you're performing on a regular basis. I know that. You also do an open mic night every Monday night.
Yeah, I host open mic at Left Foot Charlie every Monday night from 6 to 9.
And it's a good one. I've been out there myself and played, and they get a good turnout there, and good food, good drinks, good wine.
It's a nice
coffee.
atmosphere. I mean, the community of musicians here and the audience, they're so receptive. So it's nice. You can have anything any Monday. You never know. You can have a 3-piece, rock band come down. You can have, the individual singer-songwriters. We've had just a fiddle player. We've had a young woman from Chicago who was on vacation and came home to see her family, and she brought her Irish harp and she played, and it was beautiful. We have a cappella, we have poetry, we have comedy, and you just never know what you're going to get each week. And so it's a pleasure for me to get to show up and do that as a job.
Very cool.
Meet really wonderful folks here.
Excellent. Play us another tune, and we'll come back and chat a little bit more, and find out where you're going with your music and all like that. Ladies and gentlemen, Blake Elliott.
This is a song called You Don't Feel the Same About Me, and I've been told it's a catchy song. I don't know, it was stuck in my head for a long time before I finished it. you don't feel the same about me, and it breaks my little heart a bit seeing that I put a whole lot of my time into figuring how to make you mine, but I guess I was really just wrong. And even though I wrote you the song, it's been getting me nowhere all along, 'cause you don't feel the same about me. I don't pretend to know all about these things, though I've been around long enough. I've been schooled on some, and I know that this is a familiar scene, 'cause I'm playing the part of the fool again, because you don't feel the same about me, and it breaks my little heart a bit seeing that I poured a whole lot of my time into figuring how to make you mine, but I guess I was really just wrong. And even though I wrote you the song, well, it's been getting me nowhere all along, 'cause you don't feel the same about me. To tell the truth, I think that we could just be friends, but the kind with a little bit more they share, probably erring on that side they shouldn't, and I still think that it could all be okay in the end. Now you stop for a moment and say it could, but then you change your mind. You see that it wouldn't, 'cause you don't feel the same about me, and it breaks my little heart a bit seeing that I put a whole lot of my time into figuring how to make you mine, but I guess I was really just wrong. And even though I wrote you the song, well, it's been getting me nowhere all along, 'cause you don't feel the same about me. Always raise these questions when there's lots of wine. Now I'm sure you're wondering why. Well, it's 'cause I don't get it. See, I'm still wondering just what you were thinking when you leaned over and you kissed me that time. Now you say you take it back and that you regretted it. Must have been all the stuff we were drinking, 'cause you don't feel the same about me, and it breaks my little heart a bit seeing that I put a whole lot of my time into figuring how to make you mine, but I guess I was really just wrong. And even though I wrote you the song, well, it's been getting me nowhere all along, 'cause you don't feel the same about me. You don't feel the same about me. You don't feel the same about me.
I like that
Thank
tune
you.
too.
Thank you.
I like the way you play. You do. Some people call it color chords and putting glue in the song to wrap everything together, and the way you accent some of the lyrics with some of the bends that you do with the strings, and very sophisticated. You know? It sounds simple, but it's not. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on there, and it's really nice to listen to. So your style, I mean, how did you develop that? Listening to others, I'm sure we all do that.
Yeah.
But, you play a very unique style of guitar that I see from around a lot of the players around here, and I remember the first time I saw you at an open mic. I believe it was out at the Hayloft.
Oh, I love the Hayloft.
And you know, open mic nights, people are there and they're socializing and they're sort of half paying attention sometimes and half not. And we were talking. All of a sudden, you started playing, and the room went silent. And that was,
It scared me, I'll tell you that. It got so quiet.
Boy, they're watching me, you know.
Yeah.
You're not anonymous, that's for sure. And it's different. I mean, not only the way you play, but also the physical appearance, being up on stage. And you're very animated when you play, and you kind of rock and you roll when you play. And left-handed is a good hook too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I listened to so many different kinds of music growing up. Like I was saying, of course, no matter what I play, no matter how loud, and I have my new electric guitar that I've been playing out a lot. No matter how loud I get, no matter how much distortion, all those things you use, at the heart of things, I'll always be like a singer-songwriter, folk singer, because that's my roots. Those are my background. That's where I look to. But my guitar playing, I kind of learned to play out of necessity for keeping the beat. I liked listening to upbeat music, but I found a lot of even the pretty things that I loved that were a little bit slower, they were lacking that little bit of drive. And then I was about 14 years old and I discovered Ani DeFranco, and I realized that I could play a different style, and I could have that energy, and I could have a little bit of that grit, but still be a folk singer. And that was really the first time I experienced folk rock from a woman like that.
Yeah, because you slap rhythm with the left hand.
Exactly.
Along with picking individual strings and strumming all the strings and chord, and chord figures.
Yeah, and I learned a lot from her with alternate tunings. I mean, I was learning alternate tunings before I even knew more about, chord progressions in any way, shape, or form. So for me, it was like, oh, drop A, or dadgad, or any of those.
Yeah, dadgad and dadfishad and all that kind of stuff.
I know, and that's really where it started, and then that just has served me really well. I play mostly in standard now, occasional drop D, but that's where I learned. I'd give that lady a lot of credit. A lot
of stuff going on with those 6 strings.
There is.
There's 12 notes, but boy, there's so many ways to attack them.
And everything I learn now, I'm just still amazed by it. Like, wait, how many ways can I play that chord?
Yeah. It goes on and on and on. No matter how, you're always learning. So
yeah,
music is cool. We're talking to Blake Elliott right now, singer, songwriter, local performer. Cover the Rolling Stone or cover the Northern Express.
I'll work for both of them. I mean, I'm good. I'm good to do that.
No, there's been a good buzz about you going around for a while now, and you've got a record on the way too.
Yeah, we're getting ready actually to launch our Kickstarter very, very soon. It's been a long process of getting this thing together, but when we launch that, we'll be back in the studio again regularly. But we've got the foundation laid down for the album, so we're hoping to have it out by the end of the summer. It's an incredible process to hear your songs transformed from something that you wrote in your bedroom or in a cabin or by the beach to go from that to this whole new beast, and everybody brings something so incredible to it. You almost don't realize that this thing you've never heard before, this song, this has just been waiting for that horn part or for that string part or for that harmony. And it's really amazing to see it happen and
takes
grow.
on a new life.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, they don't feel like my songs in a lot of ways. At the core of them, I know they are, but I'm just excited every time I hear a new part.
Now, do you have old songs you wrote years ago that are sort of on the burn that you might bring back in
yeah, I do.
little rearrangements or whatever?
Yeah, I have I have songs going back to when I was like 19 years old, 17 years old. I think a couple songs from when I was like 15 that I've gone back and kind of rethought those songs out and realized I could do something with them now. There's enough distance between that, and I've learned enough to find a different way to kind of arrange them or a different way to kind of attack the song, and bring it to life. So, yeah, we'll see. We've got, on the album, there's some older things and some newer things, but yeah. I'm already thinking about the next one. The first one's not even done yet, but I'm already lining up the songs.
All right. Well, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Now, you're doing music full-time, right?
Yes, this is my full-time deal right now.
Occupation and both application and dedication.
And I feel really lucky to live here and do it right now.
Yeah, when did you arrive in Traverse City?
I moved up here. It'll be 7 years in September that I moved to Leelanau County, and I've been in Traverse City, in the city proper, for about 2.5, 3 years almost. And it's, I couldn't leave the water, like a lot of people. I did the vacation thing, and I had an opportunity to move west, and I just chose not to. I sat on Lake Michigan one night after the beach bards that Norm Wheeler and those guys were hosting over there. And I just sat there in Lake Michigan and I looked across and thought to myself, I don't have to travel, 2,000 miles to find something beautiful. I mean, I really truly believe our state motto, if you seek a pleasant peninsula, look about you. And I'm here. So my mission is to stay.
So you're a Michigan girl?
Absolutely, born and raised. I grew up in the Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti area.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, but I'm blessed to call Traverse City home. Northern Michigan.
You bet.
Everyone wants to be here now.
Sure they do. We're here. All right.
Yeah.
It's fun being here. Can you play us another tune? And
Absolutely.
then I'd like to know where you're playing this summer, festivals, and where folks can catch up with you. And if you have a website, they can catch up with you, and MySpace and all that kind of stuff. So,
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, Blake Elliott.
thank you. This is a song I wrote for my mom when I discovered that, when I finally figured out that this is what I wanted to be doing. It's called This Thing Right Here. Mama, I'm sorry I haven't phoned in a while. The truth is I haven't had any good news to tell you. In fact, I'm sitting at a bar right now with the drinking to forget about it. Losing myself and I'm a losing myself in my drinks. And I'm avoiding all the cigarettes, but I want one anyhow. The people wanna be, I hear the change, I know that money sound. Piano and guitar on the radio, they're singing out loud, they're singing out loud, you know it, they're singing out loud to me. Well, that reminds me I have a little happy little something that you might want me to share. No, I did not become a doctor or a lawyer or a mother, win a lottery or buy a home. I hope you still care, you know I hope you still can care. You see, I finally found what I've been looking for after all of these years. Well, it turns out I've been dragging it around with me. It was this wood, these strings, this thing right here, yes, this wood, these strings. Whoa, whoa, it was this thing right here. But now that I found it, see, I never want to put it down. I gotta let other things go, 'cause carrying this around with me, well, it's baggage enough for me, you know. Whoa, 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 yes. Whoa, 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 yes. So mama, I'm sorry I haven't phoned in a while. The truth is I haven't had any good news to tell you. In fact, I'm still sitting at a bar right now with the drinking to forget about it. Losing myself and now I'm singing them too. You know I'm singing them too with this thing right here. You know I'm singing them too. You know I'm singing them too with this thing right here. Whoa, whoa, with this thing right here. Whoa, whoa, with this thing right here.
Very nice. How'd she take it?
She loves the song. She took it
So
okay.
you told her the story in song?
Mm-hmm.
That probably
Basically.
softened it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Being that she's a player and everything else.
Yeah, it's not her job to do music. She saves lives through fundraising at a hospital, so she's doing a different thing. But she's happy.
I bet she's happy.
She's
for
happy
you.
now. Yeah.
Does she still play?
Actually, I don't know. I was home just now and the guitar was out, but I don't know if
Oh.
it's because it needs to be restrung or what. She's a 12-string. She got that for her
Oh.
college graduation, so that was always the treat
Yeah,
to let
that
me
takes
play
a
that.
commitment to restring a 12-string.
Yeah, I know. I should have probably done it when I was home to help
Those
her
are
out.
easy to
but-
put off. I think I'll do that one later.
I know, right? Classical, easy. 6-string, electric, I'm in.
All right. So what's happening with you this summer and the
Well,
festival tour? And
we're busy.
tell us about your project, your different projects. You're Blake Elliott as a
Yes,
solo?
I'm Blake Elliott as a solo artist, but I have my band, Blake Elliott and the Robinson Affair, and people always ask me why did I choose that name, and I love the movie The Graduate, and I had a duo several years ago that we called ourselves the Robinson Affair, and I decided that I wanted something in which it could be interchangeable, like it could be when whoever joins me, whether it's my bass player John Knott or our drummer John Driscoll,
right.
Or sometimes the accidentals or E minor, or Chris Pico's joining us this week for the Wine Fest, but having other people that can come in under a single name, so it's always me and whoever my friends
Right.
are that night, which is really, really nice.
Good thinking.
So we got to do that. But you know, it was one of those things where I was really ready to have a band. I've been playing solo by myself for, ever, and it's been great and it's fun, but I was ready for another person to come along and bring their sound to it, and then get a drummer, and it's been a slow process, and it has been very thoughtful. It hasn't been just like whoever, whenever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been very lucky, all the people I've been playing with, and we're lined up as a duo. We'll be at Bliss Fest this year, which is a huge, huge honor.
Oh, wow, good for you.
So we're in there. We're opening for Rodriguez for the Traverse City Wine and Art
that's
Festival.
something.
Yeah,
I just saw that documentary.
it's incredible. It's
Isn't
an
that
amazing
something?
story.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
really
and the
is.
music. I mean, the CDs. You've been listening to those. They're incredible. So that's another huge honor. And I'll be joining my friend E Minor for Farm Fest and Root Nanny. Just lining those up as well as regular gigs during the week. So you'll be able to catch us there. And yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're getting around. That's why I wanted to grab you right now before I couldn't. Too busy.
Well,
or
I will
something.
always have time for folks in Northern Michigan, especially people that support the arts and keep everyone informed.
I'm going to have Blake Elliott play us one more tune here as the show comes to an end. And Blake,
Well, thank you so
it's
much.
all to you there.
Thank you.
All right.
This is an original song called Joanna, and the song will be on our album. It's about a friend of mine. Joanna called, said she moved back from a small town in Texas. She had her heart broken in the dust there, and where the pieces lay, well, that's where she left it. And then she tried to cry, but then she found her eyes. They were as dry as a riverbed, and the heat there is like the devil stealing water in the night through the sweat in your skin. She learned a thing or two, like there are no regrets. Love's a substantial loan, it makes for heavy debt. She learned that lesson well, and still better yet, she'll testify you can forgive it, but you'll never forget it. Joanna, go home. Joanna called, said she moved home. Pacific Northwest back to Eugene, Oregon. She needed cleaner air, she needed greenery, and she needed so much more than changing the scenery. She found her family then, you know she found her friends. They bought new pieces, put her all back together again, and now she's walking tall learned a thing or two, like there are no regrets. Love's a substantial loan, it makes for heavy debt. She learned that not saying well and still better yet. She'll testify you can forgive it, but you'll never forget it. Joanna Gold. Joanna Gold said she moved back from a small town in Texas. She had her heart broken in the dust there, and where the pieces lay, well, that's where she left it. And where the pieces lay, well, that's where she left it. And where the pieces lay, well, that's where she left it. And where the pieces lay, well, that's where she left it. And where the pieces lay, well, that's where she left it. Oh, Joanna Gold. Joanna Gold. She called. She called. Joanna Gold. Thank you.
Doggone, I love that tune.
Thank you.
Yeah. Blake Elliott, ladies and gentlemen. Joanna.
Joanna. Yep.
Remember that song. You're going to be hearing that one. I know that. That just kind of gets right to you. Nice bluesy. Thanks for tuning in to Radio Motion, and I want to thank Blake Elliott for being our special guest this evening and wish her the best in her career. Our next show will be Robin Lee Berry, accompanied by Glenn Wolfe. You don't want to miss that one. And you can catch Local Motion every Friday from 6 to 7:30 on WNMC 90.7 FM radio in Traverse City, Michigan, or WNMC.org if you're anywhere in the whole wide world. You can listen to our radio program, and you can watch it right here on Up North Media. Thank you to Michael Toms, our director-producer, and thank you to WNMC Public Radio. Good night.